Today's episode of Still Untitled is brought to you by Video Blocks. They offer great value with an unlimited download model. Choose from a library of over 115,000 HD video clips, After Effects templates, motion backgrounds, and cinemagraphs. On average, subscribers pay less than $1 per download over the course of a year, and they have a great variety of time lapses, aerials, US international locations, slow motion, nature shots, and more. Everything is 100% royalty-free, even if a subscription is canceled. VideoBlocks is also offering listeners of this podcast a year's subscription for only $99. This is $50 off the usual price tag for our listeners only, less than $10 a month. Get your subscription today for only $99 at videoblocks.com/stilluntitled. That's VideoBlocks, videoblocks.com/stilluntitled for this exclusive offer. Now on with the show. Welcome to Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. I'm Norm.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Joey.
Joey Fameli.
Hello.
This is a permutation of unorthodox proportions.
So Will was here this morning picking up my inflatable Baymax costume for Halloween.
It's Halloween today.
It is Halloween today.
I know.
I forgot.
And he said, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. Can you come do a podcast later on today? And he was like, it's Halloween. And I'm like, I get it. And he goes, ask Joey. He's great. He hates doing it, but he's great. Is that true?
Yeah. No, it's fine.
So we thought, Joey, that we'd have you on and talk about, we've been doing a ton of travel. Mm-hmm. We've all been doing a bunch of travel for Tested. But you and I just got back from a week in Budapest, Hungary.
Yeah, someone asked me yesterday, how was the travel? I was like,
Which
where?
one?
Arctic?
Which of the travels?
Where am I today? And you got stuck. You missed a connector at Heathrow?
No, Frankfurt. I got to see a little bit of Frankfurt. So the Budapest to Frankfurt to SFO, I had about 45 minutes layover, and the 20-minute delay from Budapest to Frankfurt. I don't know if you've ever been to the Frankfurt airport, but
Massive.
Massive.
And
really? It deals with, like, you get off the plane onto a bus, get your bus over to like the main structure, then you're running like a mile to your next gate. So I didn't really think about any of that stuff. And
was that the same airport we went to on the way to France?
Yeah.
For CERN? Yeah.
For CERN, yeah. And so if you remember, we like walked down in escalators into like a tunnel, and then like a mile of tunnel, and then it's a huge airport. But anyway, I got held up there. They offered me a hotel, drove me out to a little hotel in Frankfurt, and
what hotel they offer you sounds.
Yeah, it's basically around
sketchy.
Airports. They just got like a couple hotels they put you at, and the thing was my suitcase was checked in, so they said we're gonna hold on to your suitcase upon the next flight. I was like, but I need things. I'm wearing like one pair of clothes and toothbrush, so I ran around downtown Frankfurt 8 p.m. and bought American Apparel in Germany to have new underwear for the next day.
A patriot, a real patriot.
That's hilarious. I had an hour and a half layover at Heathrow and barely made it.
It's been a long time since I've been to Heathrow. That's a pretty nice...
Heathrow, no, I refer to Heathrow as Children of Men. Heathrow Airport is...
Which part of Children of Men?
It's
not the nice place.
The dystopic part.
Okay, yeah.
Look, it's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, you really used to be there. Like, you'd be allowed to enter the United States with 2 bags, but while switching, we went to Africa through Heathrow. While switching to the African plane, Heathrow was like, 1 bag! And they literally, it was like 1 bag, and if you're going to join your 2 bags, you've got like 30 seconds to do it, and you have to get it on your first try. Otherwise, they send you back out of the airport to come back through security. This was years ago, but the other day when I was coming through Heathrow, my bag got flagged because I had a thing of hair product. That's all.
Why? What is it? Is liquid?
No, it was 150 mils instead of 100 milliliters.
Oh my!
And my bag gets flagged, and so now there's like robot that like takes your bag and goes shunk, and it goes down a separate thing. But it goes into a line of 5 or 6 other bags, all being checked by this one gentleman. Now, I applaud this gentleman's dedication to his job. He was invariably professional and calm and directed, but he was slow. And it was literally like, it just made my heart hurt watching the useless exercise that this guy was putting everyone through. So it was like everything that had liquid was being checked. And
They would take out the containers.
take out all the containers, swab them all, put them all through the gas chromatograph or whatever it was, and then
Check
put
the
them all
volume,
back.
check-
Yeah,
oh
all
my-
that,
wow.
everything. And then this one woman had Heathrow's requirement was that all your toiletries, all your liquids fit in a single 8 by 8 inch Ziploc baggie.
Not a gallon bag.
No.
I have never done the plastic
metric.
bag.
And this, no, I almost never do either. But this woman had a whole bunch of liquid toiletries in a 9 by 9 inch bag. And so, no, I'm not exaggerating. He got her an 8-inch bag and he handed it to her. And he stood there with his arms crossed, watching her while she put everything in. And he wouldn't let her go until the 8 by 8 inch bag could close all the way. And this brought me to such a point of rage for
That's
my culture.
17 square inches,
Right.
by the way.
8 by 8 inch.
The difference.
Oh, right. The difference. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's like it brought me to the edge of my sanity. And then he finds my thing. And, of course, it's like I get a look, right? And immediately after dealing with all that, now I've got like 25 minutes to make my flight. And in Heathrow, it's like there's a bus you got to take somewhere. It's a whole thing. I'm in Terminal 5. I need to get to Terminal 2. Anyone who's gone through Heathrow knows what that's like. And just as I'm leaving security, this sweet fan comes up and says, "Mr. Savage." And I am like, before I even looked at him, I was like, "I have to apologize to you." I said, grabbing his hand, "You have caught me in the worst possible mood." He's like, "I'm just a big fan." I'm like, "I'm so pleased. If you will let me go, I need to figure out where I have to go because I have to start running in a second. Have a wonderful trip."
That sounds like a pretty good
He got a
response,
shout out.
though.
He got a shout out on our podcast.
He did.
Yes, hope he listens.
I didn't, it's those moments, the moments I find really difficult to interact with fans are when I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. Until I know where I'm supposed to go, I'm nothing but discomfort.
Yep.
And so I'm like, I get really, really tense, and I got to work on
Standing
this.
in lines in those environments, that time distortion effect.
Well, standing in line isn't a problem. It's like I'm out in the middle of an airport. Which way am I supposed to run, and what gate is my flight at? Also, because in Europe, your gate doesn't get announced until like 20 minutes before the flight. It's all very much more fluid.
Yeah.
So those moments I find quite difficult. So sometimes I've said, "Sit right here. Let me figure out where I am." Okay, hi.
Why don't airports have like architectural models of the airport itself in a main hub where you can stand around and spatially visualize down that corridor, that left, there?
Augmented reality would take care of all of this in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So before having those traveled, like the airport adventures, what about Budapest itself?
Budapest,
How was that city? I've never been.
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it was much more. It was much prettier than I imagined it being. I mean, it had a little bit of. There were some areas that are a little bit more of like the, Eastern European
Yeah.
like element, but architecturally, it was just gorgeous.
There's tons of Art Nouveau architecture. People were like, "Those melting windows," and I'm like, "I know what you mean." The hotel we were in, the Four Seasons, it's just right by the Danube, right by the oldest bridge in Budapest, the Chain Bridge. Gorgeous. There's several pictures you've seen in my Twitter feed this week were from my hotel window, looking right out over. And the Four Seasons itself, an absolutely stunning building.
So I was
Typically
there
are.
3 days before you, and I was at an Airbnb over in the downtown area.
Were
and
you in Buda side or
I
Pest
was in
side?
the Pest side. So the Pest side is the flatter
Urban.
urban area. Yeah. Then you get over across Chain Bridge to the Buda side, and then you have a lot of hills, a lot of real gorgeous architecture and old buildings. It's much more. It feels much more European over on the Buda side. But I've been walking past the Four Seasons all weekend, and I kept looking at this building, like, that is a beautiful building. And then I come to check in, and I was like, Woo! All right.
That's the building.
Get inside. It was
Nice.
gorgeous inside.
I want to say for tested listeners, for still entitled listeners, if you're wondering eagerly what we were doing in Budapest, unfortunately, we're here to tell you that we're not going to tell you. You're not going to learn about it during this podcast.
Sorry.
A lot of the travel that we've been doing to Australia, New Zealand, and Budapest and other parts of the world have been towards projects that will start coming out on Tested. And the reason that we had to maintain some secrecy will be obvious, as is the reason that there was a long tail from filming to release. And by the way, it's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like, we saw some
great.
really awesome shit in Budapest.
And I heard the exchange rate wasn't so bad.
The exchange rate was terrific. We ate on the last night at a Michelin star restaurant called Costas around the corner from our hotel. It was fantastic. The menu was all in Hungarian, and they were like, if you'd like, you can get the chef's tasting menu,
Yes.
and you can choose or we could choose. And we were all like, you guys choose. And boy, was that a good choice.
Which is like my ideal way to eat.
Yes.
Like I just give me whatever. I hate choosing. Just give me whatever you think is the best.
Yeah.
I love it when Bar Agricole has a deal here. If you're 6 or more people outdoors, you don't get to look at a menu. They'll just choose for you. And if you have food allergies, of course, and if there's something you really loved, they'll bring it again. I mean, they'll work with you. But I love the model of your menu being chosen for you. And frankly, because it's getting more and more expensive to staff up a full restaurant with a total number of servers, I think we're going to start seeing restaurants with more novel options for how to order and how to eat.
Yeah. I think those, like the electronic menus, the robot servers, that's not going to be it. It's going to
No, we're not going to eat at the automat.
Yeah.
But Budapest also has a very thriving film culture. There's 3 big film studios in Budapest. The Martian was shot there. Hellboy 2 was shot there. There's the crews that work there are itinerant. They work all over Europe. They've worked on every movie you can think of.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I found the people I mean, not to say that this is surprising, because I really didn't have an impression of Budapest in my head. It's a very cosmopolitan city, very similar in size to San Francisco. 800,000 people with several million in the greater urban area. Interestingly, and look, I don't know if I'm being totally off the mark, but the Buda side is the hilly side with all these big sort of castles on it as you're driving up the Danube. And I arrived at night, so the buildings are all lit up, just gorgeous. And in a way, that sort of felt a little like Pittsburgh to me. Pittsburgh sits on a river where there's this big hill and a lot of houses sit up top of that, Palisades above Pittsburgh. And weirdly, Budapest felt a little like Pittsburgh. Maybe I'm the first one to point that out.
I was in the farmers market, and they have over on one side they have like a big display of the wine regions, but they also have a it's like a model of the landscapes of Budapest. And
cool!
It's all built with like the hills, the mountains. You can see it goes flat, and then right when you cross the river, just boom, and just mountains everywhere. You can kind of see the entire like landscape and the geography of everything. It was really cool.
How did you do with the jet lag 9 hours ahead?
It was rough. Usually I'm okay with jet lag, but getting there, I was wiped out in just weird hours. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and just be up. So I'd go out and do some photography during the sunrises, and then
nice.
At some point in the midday, I'd just pass out and then wake back up, and it was 8 or 9 at night.
And you can't sleep on airplanes.
Yeah, I had a lot of room on this plane, and I just even the best circumstances, I just could not sleep.
Wow.
The lag was kicking my ass. I was never able to sleep for more than about 2.5 hours at a stretch.
But you got those 2.5 hours in.
I was able to get about
day.
5 or 6 a night. So I'd always fall asleep around 9:30. And then I'd wake up going, oh, it's morning. And it would only be midnight.
Amazing.
It always just make me so sad.
I'm still feeling it. It's 2 days.
Yeah, I was pretty beat yesterday.
Both Adam and Joey got back literally the day, and the day of our live show that we've been yapping up. And that was a huge success. Thank you to everyone who actually came.
And we're going to be putting videos of the live show up on.
Yeah.
Are we going to be separating those out?
They'll be our premium members are going to get the full show,
the
full 2 hours, and some of the segments will go out after.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
It was a great show, by the way.
It was a really great show. It was a lot of fun to do. It was also a huge amount of fun to watch. I really enjoyed the spit out of it.
And I want to thank Kishore, who I know isn't just part of the team, but he listens to the podcast, who show ran the show. So it was great. That festival's still going on. We didn't know if we were going to record a podcast this week, but it's Halloween. It was very festive out on the Castro also.
It was. You're right. So I walked out of the Castro. This was Friday night. No, Saturday.
Saturday night.
Which was effectively the night San Francisco celebrated Halloween, although the Castro's famous Halloween celebration is always on Halloween.
That's tonight.
Yeah.
Oh.
And again, I don't know if the city allows it anymore, but I went to it years ago, and I've never been in a crush of people where I did not have control over my forward movement. Wow. Like, you're just in a crowd and you're moving with the sea, which is very intense. Are you guys doing anything for Halloween?
I'm not, unfortunately. No. I'm resting for Halloween.
Yeah, I got
Joy?
nothing.
No?
I had these 2 months ago. I had these big ideas for a costume and this whole thing and travel and just stuff.
Yeah, I might have one you could borrow, Joey.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, there's so much travel going on. I know you're doing a little bit more traveling this week, Adam, which is why we're recording today.
I am. I'm leaving tomorrow for another 5 days for 3 different projects. Yeah, I'm going to the East Coast. I'm shooting some stuff for a client. I am getting an award.
Oh.
And I am doing a corporate appearance with a college appearance.
Ah.
So in a post TV show landscape, often people will hire you to come and give talks at colleges or for corporate clients. Those are a nice source of income for a little while. So Jamie and I are speaking at University of Connecticut.
Oh, great.
And this will be the first time I've seen Jamie in about 6 months.
Wow.
No, since another corporate appearance we did.
Yeah, that's insane. And then this weekend, I'm going to be down in Anaheim. There's a BlizzCon. It's a video game convention for Blizzard. And I'm going to be there with Frank to check out some projects that I think he can't talk about just yet.
He's got a bunch of stuff that he's been doing for BlizzCon.
Well, we'll see all of that on Saturday.
Fabulous.
It's all hush-hush right now. And then in November, we're going to be down at DesignerCon. And this is a convention. It's a smaller one. It's almost like Monsterpalooza size. I don't know if you've heard of this, Adam, but you know how we talked on the podcast about those craft fairs that we get.
Yeah.
It's like the Renegade Craft Fair and the what's the other one in San Francisco? The Bizarre Bazaar.
The Bizarre Bazaar is so awesome. It's like a live Etsy.
Right. Live Etsy. But I feel like every time I go to one of those, there are 4 tables I really like. Where have like these either big nice posters, like in creative arts things, and like crafts and custom sculpts and garage kits. But the rest it's a lot of soaps these days.
Yeah.
A lot of people making pillows and soaps is how I would describe it. Which,
wooden ties I've seen.
yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of things. This designer con that's coming up is like those 4 tables, but for an entire convention. It's just custom art that people make and modifications of toys and garage kits.
Nice.
Is that Anaheim?
Pasadena Convention Center. So
That's really
we'll
cool.
We'll be down there. We'll have a little booth set up, and we're bringing Bill Duran. We're bringing Frank Sean's going to be down there selling some of his stuff, and
Awesome.
we'll be chatting with people. Yeah,
Fabulous.
very, very looking forward to that. Yeah.
Joey, we were having dinner the other night, and our dinner companion asked us how we relaxed when we got home.
Oh yeah.
And you had an answer. I just thought it was really cool and unique. What do you do to unwind after a long week of travel?
So usually when we're out eating at restaurants or just grabbing a quick bite on the road. But I love to cook. So when I get home, the first thing I do is kind of get in the kitchen, get everything squared away, get my mise-en all set up, and then just roll out basically sheets of pasta, or I bake pizza. But the pasta has been the big one, just to get dough ready and just get the machine going and just start rolling out raviolis.
Do you have the hand crank machine?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do a mixer for the dough itself, and then I usually prepare like one traditional dough, one squid ink pasta dough, and then take a shower. About a half hour later, everything's ready, and I sit there for a couple hours with Andrea. Usually, she has like a little seat. My wife will sit next to me and just kind of chat, and I'll just sit there with semolina flour everywhere, just rolling out pasta.
It's the best.
It's a great way to like normalize myself after a week of travel.
So it's a hand crank or a motorized pasta maker?
It's a hand crank.
Oh,
so it's got a few different attachments I can do for different pasta types. But
the if you have a Hamilton Beach mixer, you can get a pasta attachment that plugs into the top of that. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, owning one, it's pretty awesome.
I've flirted with the idea quite a bit, but I really like
You really like?
I really like
you've
just
got
the
your
hand
thing.
cranking.
I'm not going to
All right,
interrupt
yeah.
your thing.
I'll probably end up getting one for those. If I have people over, guests over, I usually like
Yeah.
to make my own pasta, and sometimes that can be a little bit of
You're
time.
welcome to borrow mine.
Oh yeah, we'll try it out.
I would love to try your pasta.
All right.
Homemade pasta is like, unless you've actually tried it, it's almost like candy. I mean, it's so luscious and it's really hard. I mean, you've had it in restaurants because most restaurants that serve pasta seriously now are making their own pasta.
And I won't order pasta out unless it's made in house. Like
Yeah.
I won't do the box pasta eating out because I can do that at home.
So the one that I'm obsessed with lately is the cacio e pepe, the simple butter and salt pasta spaghetti at Locanda here in the Mission District. Oh, it's comfort food times 90. It's just so delicious. I also cooked yesterday. Julia got some chicken that she'd cooked up with some spices, and thought, oh, we could have chicken sandwiches for dinner. And then she didn't make the chicken sandwiches, but I had bought one of those grills for like serious grilled cheese making, like a big 16 by
press?
20 inch. No, like it's a big restaurant griddle,
Oh yeah, okay.
right? So I bought one of those because I take grilled cheese
And
really
does that sit on your
seriously.
stove or does it?
No.
Okay,
It's a
just on-
separate electric device that sits in our pantry. So I made a couple of pressed panini chicken sandwiches with mayo, some red onions, and some cheese.
That's exactly what we had for lunch yesterday. Andrew and I made chicken sandwiches.
I kept on wanting to clean the house because right now my office at home is a little messy, and for the life of me, I could not muster the energy to get into it.
But once you got back in the shop, you're back to.
So yeah, I'm
organizing
back
and
here
making.
today just for the day, doing some infrastructure, cleaning up some wiring in the cruiser, and I've actually been working on Totoro.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking, Norm, I don't know what you're doing later on today, but I was thinking, toying around with the idea of taking Totoro, because it's a little rainy,
Yes.
of taking Totoro to a bus stop and maybe
doing
taking a
shoot.
photo.
We can totally do that.
Little tiny umbrella.
Yes.
I also had a camera on Totoro's top, and we had problems because the HDMI cable somehow got sheared or broke inside and didn't work. And
Which is your eyes, basically. So if
Right.
that thing goes, and you're...
but then I realized the GoPro Hero 5 that I bought at Heathrow has Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So now I'm going to do a fully wireless system where my phone sits here and the GoPro sits here, and I don't have to worry about a wire between the outside and the inside.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Sometimes the wired connection is more reliable.
Oh,
I-
to be
I-
clear,
yeah.
to be sure. But for right now, this will work. You saw I fixed up the boot. So this is sometimes one of the things I do to relax is I'll take something that's already built and I'll just make it better and more refined and easier to work with.
You should keep some kind of hammer or knife if that Wi-Fi connection fails. You could just put it out just in case of emergency, so you can see.
Yeah, that's true. I need something. This costume, unlike any other, I have so much room inside and both my hands free. It's kind of amazing. I almost want to put out a little tray so I could have like a sandwich and some fries and be like, I put a GoPro mount so that we can have a GoPro covering my face. Because we really should have had interior shots of my journey as
And you
Totoro.
need lit up a little bit. You know what we need is, have you seen the artist who does those cross sections of creatures?
Yes.
We need like a cross section of Totoro, but it's you inside.
We got to get him to
with the
do
harness.
it.
I know him, Brad McGinty. I'm gonna
reach out. I'll commission
Yes.
Brad to draw a Totoro cross section.
But with you and with your full harness inside, yes.
And this would be my goal here is, and again, I'll say this in person. I said it in the comments, but the Totoro build video is my favorite build video we've yet done. And your editing and shooting is awesome. I watched the whole thing, and I don't watch all of my videos.
that
I
one
don't
was
watch
definitely a
them
longer
all
one.
the way through. It was a
42
longer
minutes.
one, but I found I really loved the pacing. And since I watched so many of other people's build videos online, and I love complaining that no one knows how to edit, it doesn't even matter because I just love watching people build shit. But I feel like that Totoro build is, for my money, like the kind of builds I like to watch, a real gold standard. And so I'm hoping more people watch it and make their own Totoros.
yeah.
I want to announce, like, I'm going to go to this con as Totoro. I'm going to go to Silicon Valley Comic Con. I'm going to bring a big costume that'll be a reveal like it always is. But I'm also going to bring Totoro because Shit, he's easy to travel and he's so much fun to wear.
Yeah, it was just a great thing to watch. Just people running up, hugging, and just conventions are great when there's really good energy out.
And like you said, you're modifying it, right?
I am modifying. So I've been modifying him in terms of how easy it is to perform in him. But Jeremy has been helping me with another key modification in his performative abilities, which will be revealed at the next con he goes to. And then I have like at least 3 tiers of improvements to make on Totoro. So each con I bring him to will be revealing another facet of his versatility. Do you have some more travel coming up, Joey?
I don't think so. Well,
yeah, Joey does.
I'm relocating a bit.
Oh, right, you're moving.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big.
Did we announce that on the site?
I think so. So
Joey's moving.
Yeah, I'm
everybody.
moving out of San Francisco down to the Los Angeles area.
He's not leaving tested, not by any means.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll be doing. I'll be closer to Frank and some of our stuff that we do in LA. It's basically just setting up another arm of tested, and I'll be up here quite a bit and working with everybody as much as I can, just in a different area, different environment.
Yeah. The food tour, the last food tour of SF. You got to do I've been
the
last.
You totally do, right?
Yeah, I've been putting together a list of everything I need to go see and do.
Oh, right, you're leaving in a
month, less than a couple of weeks. That's
it's
right.
Basically Thanksgiving. I'll be out.
So when we're back next week, can we make an arrangement? Could you bring in some pasta for lunch?
Oh yeah,
I'm really dying to try your pasta.
I'll do pasta, then the next week I'll do pizza because I love doing pizza as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love that. I love to hear. The jet lag when you travel is a real ass kicker. It's hard to stay focused, especially because we all have multiple projects. We're always, every long plane ride is an opportunity to get down and do some work in email sorting that you haven't done. Those wind down techniques, especially Norm, I think you're the one who hits the ground more running than anybody I've ever met. The wind down techniques are really important in terms of down regulating.
I sleep on the plane.
You sleep on the plane.
I'm a power down on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I do the red eyes to New York.
I sleep on the plane too. I generally do. I'm able to sleep through about half of every given plane ride.
Yeah.
I also, I've mostly stopped eating on airplanes.
Oh, it makes you feel terrible once you get off.
To eat.
To eat.
Well, I just find that the food is it's fine. Like at the very best, it's fine. And like my thinking is, why would I waste a meal on this food that's just okay when actually I could probably grab a sandwich in the airport that would be twice as good and fresh? So yeah, and I've also heard that fasting is one way to deal with jet lag, although I've never been able to do it.
Really?
Because the comfort of food is really important when it's that beat.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear stories in the comments of wind down techniques after long periods of travel and jet lag mitigation.
And I gotta say, I know you're traveling a lot. We're all traveling a lot. Gotta find time to watch those shows. People are waiting for us to talk about Westworld.
Oh, okay.
They're waiting for us.
All right.
To talk about some of the movies
I'll have
coming out.
Westworld under my belt by the time I get back next week. Okay.
Doctor Strange, I believe, comes out this Friday.
Doctor Strange.
There's Rogue One that's coming out next month. Those are the big movies coming out.
Wow.
Yeah, December. In San Francisco, it's been raining a lot. That's perfect reason to stay home and binge Netflix or go visit a museum.
It's been so great with the rain. I love the rain so much. We didn't have a lot for years here, so every time we get it, it's a real special occasion.
They finished the Kubrick exhibit this yesterday at the Jewish Contemporary Museum. So the maze, I think they're moving that somewhere else.
It goes back into its box, and I believe it goes to Mexico City.
Okay,
is the next place it's going. I could be wrong about that, but. It's going to travel for another couple of years, if I remember correctly.
There's still the Tom Sachs exhibit.
Tom Sachs is a space program. It's still at Yerba Buena Center for the Arts. If you've ever heard me mention him on the podcast and you live in San Francisco, go see it. It is the deepest of dives into Tom's whole oeuvre, and it's really thrilling and overwhelming and amazing. It's an incredible show, and it's got some pieces from his whole history.
Right. Yeah, and even like the lobby and the cafe, it's all decked out.
Absolutely. You get the full Saks experience. Tom is, the world's been lucky this year. So far, there's been 4 major Tom Sachs exhibits at the Noguchi Museum, the Brooklyn Museum, at the Jeffrey Deitch Gallery in New York, and now at Yerba Buena. And I think there's still another one. Oh, yeah, he just had an exhibit in Japan.
Wow. Exploratorium, our friend Herbie, who's our stage manager for our live show, he's telling me about an upcoming Automata exhibit in November. So I'm looking forward to
we
checking
have to
that
go
out.
cover that.
Exactly.
I hope they'll let us open some doors and look on the insides of some of these things.
Yeah.
Is Stromby still going on there?
Stromby's, I believe, finished.
It finished. My Stromby's
in August, end of August.
Yeah. They all walked away.
That's right. the wind took them away. Yeah, and then I got to find time to visit Guillermo's exhibit at the LACMA.
I know. We got to get down there.
That's getting soon.
That's leaving quickly.
I know.
We're idiots. All right. Woo! Okay, we'll get down there.
Yes. And once again, please vote.
Please vote. Vote. And I've said this before. I don't care who you vote for. Actually, I do care who you vote for. But it doesn't mean that you should vote for who I care that you vote for. Vote. It's really vital that you vote. It's super important. Even if you're in a state like California where the outcome is more preordained than in a battleground state, it still matters that you vote. The higher the numbers are every election, the more people will go vote the next election. We need those numbers up. This is how we participate in our democracy. Yeah. Damn it.
Agreed.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for this week. It's good places that need to stop.
I think so. Joey, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for listening. And we'll hopefully see you next week.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. I also want to thank the other sponsor of this week's podcast, and that's Casper Mattresses. Casper is an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price, combining springy latex and supportive memory foams to create an award-winning sleep surface with just the right amount of sink and just the right bounce. Free shipping and returns to US and Canada, and you can try Casper for 100 nights risk-free in your home. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up and refund you everything. And of course, all the mattresses are made in America. Now, for listeners of Still Entitled, you can get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/untitled and using the offer code Untitled. Again, that's www.casper.com/untitled and using the offer code Untitled. Terms and conditions may apply. We'll see you next week.